Have you ever questioned? Have you ever puzzled why your legs seem weaker, even when you're eating healthily, exercise and doing the entirety proper? Why do stairs appear to be getting steeper? Why does getting out of a chair unexpectedly take longer than it used to? Is it handiest age? Or is there something else that is subtly hurting? That is where you may be shocked every now and then. It is now not what you are now not doing. You're already doing it without knowledge. The danger because they were taught their whole lives that fruits are natural, healthy, and superb. The bulk of seniors make a silent mistakes every day with overall religion that they're making the right selection. Yes, the maximum are. However, here's the fact that nobody talks approximately. No longer all culmination are suitable for senior citizens. In fact, several fruits, those we eat each week without query, can progressively weaken legs, aggravate joint irritation, result in knee ache, and make strolling more difficult. End result, that are promoted as healthful, may also virtually be awful for your leg energy balance and mobility. You already know, as we become older, our bodies exchange our metabolism, slows our flow, weakens, and ingredients that used to be top for us can now begin to slowly harm us. Mainly some culmination, regardless of their candy flavor and innocent look, they comprise acids, carbs, and different chemical substances that decrease blood sugar, aggravate joints, and weaken your legs. Even worse, the harm is gradual, diffused, and invisible until you subsequently experience an introspected pain to your calves, a persistent ache to your thighs, or an uncomfortable tightness for your knees, after only a quick walk. I will list the top 7 culmination that human beings over 60 need to live far away from nowadays. Specifically, if you want to protect your legs from persistent harm, pain, and deterioration, none of these fruits are safe, even though they seem harmless. As soon as you realize the truth, you may in no way look for it at your fruit dish the same manner once more. Consequently, in case you respect your strength and wish to maintain your legs sturdy, steady, and pain-free, stay with me through to the end. This could be the wake-up call your body has been expecting. However, before we begin, preserve on a 2D. In case you are concerned about your fitness, click on the subscribe button and activate notifications, because we proportion information here that nobody else talks approximately. If you're with me, please let me realize if this video speaks to you as you watch it. Proper now. Input 1 in the comment segment, type 0. In any other case, you do not recognize how crucial your voice is. Let's start with our list's first fruit. Even though it is counseled for reducing infection, elders might also enjoy the opposite effect. Let's speak about pineapple. The tropical, juicy, and delicious pineapple has long been hailed as a natural anti-inflammatory because of a compound known as bromelain. However, right here's the twist. Pineapple can be the silent wrongdoer for seniors, in spite of the large notion that it lowers infection. Pineapple has natural sugars and powerful acids. Furthermore, the one's sugars are not as healthful as they appear, especially in case you're older than 60. Let me make clear, our blood vessels develop more delicate and sensitive as we age. They not react within the equal manner to will increase in sugar. Pineapple gives a natural sugar boost to the bloodstream, despite its fitness advantages. What impact does this have on you? It reasons blood sugar ranges to upward thrust quick. The little blood veins that nourish your legs, foot, and muscle mass can also sustain injury. Because of that spike, your legs acquire less oxygen as your flow deteriorates over time. What does that reason do? You realize swelling, weariness, and pain. You get that stupid dragging pain to your legs after a short walk standing. Reasons your knees to get stiff. Even after spending the complete day sitting, your ankles begin to hurt. There may be more further to being. Candy pineapple has an acidic taste, particularly if you have already got arthritis or infection. That acid would possibly worsen your joints. It is much like stoking the flames, which can be already raging to your knees, hips, and ankles after ingesting pineapple. A few people even observation that their legs sense heavy, as even though their electricity is slowly waning. You should be aware about this, as nicely the well-known enzyme bromelain may additionally interact with certain medications, especially blood thinners, making them both overly robust or ineffective. But that is the maximum dangerous component. There aren't any glaring drawbacks to pineapple. No obvious signs or acute ache are present as an alternative. It slowly creeps in until you discover which you are not able to transport as you used to, the most miserable element. The bulk of seniors are unaware that their annual leg weakness may be due to the fruit they eat for fitness. What are you capable of? Do at the same time as you shouldn't completely avoid pineapple, you ought to restriction your intake, especially if you've been managing persistent leg ache or unexplained swelling. The harm is unassuming, however authentic. What approximately the following fruit, if pineapple, which has anti-inflammatory characteristics, may be this horrific for getting older legs? It is tasty, gentle, and widely known for elevating potassium and muscle strength. but it is able to be deceptive. Permit speak about bananas, soft, sweet and excessive in potassium. Bananas are appeared as a wonderful meals, they're purported to help muscle mass, provide you with power, and maintain cramps at bay, but things are distinct for elders. Bananas are wealthy and clearly going on sugar and fast digesting carbs. This shows that your body starts off evolved to combat insulin, and that your blood sugar levels boom right after eating, your legs suffer. Whilst this takes place on a common foundation, due to the fact flow is weakened and inflammation rises. Leg heaviness after food, stiff calves and stupid ache, while taking walks or ascending stairs, are all feasible symptoms. That's not all, although additionally bananas promote fluid retention, especially in human beings with cardiac problems. Stiff joints, swollen fruit, and swollen ankles are the results of this. It has a silent effect. You consume bananas because you suspect they may be proper on your muscle groups. Instead, they may be step-by-step weakening you. The worst issue through the years eating bananas may motive additional ache and problem transferring round. However, this impact might not be felt proper away. If your legs are often heavy, painful or swollen, consider the fruits on your plate, despite the fact that bananas are not as amiable as they appear. What if something even smaller had the same strength? Muscle mass are recognized to be supported by means of bananas. Our subsequent fruit is little endearing and harmless, searching, yet it is able to be burning your joints. Permits communicate approximately. Grapes. Grapes appear harmless, small, juicy and easy to consume as a snack. Similarly, they're heart-healthy, antioxidant, rich and nicely regarded. Most humans are unaware, even though that consuming grapes can purpose slight leg ache, stiffness and inflammation in seniors. Why? Due to the fact fructose, a sugar. This is at once absorbed with the aid of the liver and becomes fat, and uric acid is present in grapes and can be unsafe in excessive doses. The authentic damage starts off evolved. While your liver is unable to fully digest it, uric acid builds up in the joints, in particular, within the FT ankles and knees, ensuing in sporadic burning, hurting, and swelling. Even mild on foot is difficult because of that continual ache. Have you ever had middle of the night piercing pain in your large toe? You've got abruptly stiff calves. Your uric acid degrees might also upward thrust due to something as clean as consuming a handful of grapes. Fructose also contributes for your frame's persistent inflammation. This outcomes in tension, higher stress and slower motion. It is also very smooth to overdo grapes. They may be sufficiently little to permit for steady nibbling, or 3 cups are long passed earlier than you know it, and the sugar builds up fast. Consequently, even at the same time as grapes ought to appear to be a nutritious snack, as you age, they will gradually weaken, decrease your legs' flexibility, and make it less snug. You currently apprehend what will be hid below that sweetness. Reflect on consideration on this hyperlink. If you've been eating grapes on a normal foundation and you're getting greater stiff and swollen, other tasty culmination, but have the ability to be dangerous. Some other is famine for being hydrating, rich and bright, but do not be duped. It tastes like water. However, on the inside it really works like sugar. Permits communicate approximately. Watermelon, mild and clean. Watermelon is a summertime and hydration brand. Should your legs be being subtly harmed with the aid of this watery fruit, is not that abnormal. Every person believes that watermelon is a remarkable manner to stay hydrated. It's in large part water, low in calories and feels safe. However, here's the trick. The glycemic index of watermelon is fairly high. This indicates that, like candies, it quickly boosts blood sugar degrees. Moreover, seniors go through critical injuries from those frequent sugar spikes, specifically to their legs. Permit me explain. Your body releases insulin. When your blood sugar ranges upward, thrust rapidly. But as our bodies age, insulin regulation deteriorates. Infection is the final results, especially in regions with negative circulation. Wherein does this show up? Your knees, ankles and calves, leg tiredness, right after ingesting, dull pain on short walks, and chronic ankle swelling are all feasible. Stair mountaineering starts to resemble hiking a mountain. Despite the fact that watermelon has a sensitive texture on the internal, it wears down your legs like a beautiful lure. It is juicy and clean, so maximum humans devour a number of it. One slice will become akut, wixedain drioq, the amount of sugar pressure and inflammation. It's deceptive. Your legs go through, your flow deteriorates, and your blood sugar rises, despite the fact that you believe you are ingesting water. Is it genuine that watermelon keeps elders hydrated, or does the pain of movement upward thrust incredibly with each chunk? In case you frequently consume watermelon, and your legs had been feeling greater, exhausted currently, it is probably time to alternate your mind. Allows pass directly to a fruit. This is related to health and nutrition. See it's far protected in breakfast immunity boosting liquids and juices. Then again, elderly human beings can also be afflicted by an acidic joint assault. Let's speak approximately oranges. Oranges brilliant and fragrant. They're generally seen in breakfast platters, beverages and health supplements. Nutrition. C is supposed to help them increase immunity. But for seniors especially, the ones over 60, oranges might also disguise an unsightly fact. Your joints don't just like the acid, it truly is, at the back of that citrus glow. Citrus is ample in oranges, even though it could seem regular, it would irritate your joints quietly, especially if you already have arthritis, stiffness or inflammation for your frame. You can have chronic hip ache, leg ache, after extended sitting, increasing edema, limited mobility, and sluggish morning stiffness on your knees. You would possibly assume it is just growing old, but the very ache you're looking for to keep away from may be exacerbated by your healthful morning orange juice habit. That is what takes place. The citric acid in oranges has results past your stomach, it receives into your bloodstream, and might exacerbate the touchy tissues on your joints. It also increases blood sugar levels when paired with the fruit's natural sugar. The final results: swelling all around the frame, your knees, ankles, calves become inflamed, making each stride greater, painful and heavy. As you may see, oranges might not be harmful to younger human beings. However, they've a diffused effect on elderly human beings who have aging joints and reduced circulation. The worst thing is that because oranges have lengthy been related to fitness, you consume them with the notion that you're doing something right. However, you currently realize that they could not be promoting your nicely being. What comes subsequent: this fruit appears crisp, smooth, inexperienced, and has less sugar. Its miles appeared as the secure preference. However, it conceals something that would motive hip pain, tight knees and cramps at nighttime. Now let's communicate about inexperienced apples. Green apples have a herbal, crisp and clean appearance because they flavor less candy. Maximum human beings in particular. Seniors suppose they're the more healthy choice. They look like a low-sugar healthy snack. Maximum humans are unaware though that inexperienced apples may quietly induce leg pain, stiffness, and weariness. Malic acid and hidden natural sugar are the two threats. Allow speak about malic acid first. The bitter taste of green apples is due to this acid. It's tremendous for more youthful humans, however, it is able to be terrible for older humans' digestion. When malic acid enters the body, it can aggravate tissues which include joints, and as we age, our intestine lining will become more sensitive. A few older persons have excruciating hip or thigh discomfort after ingesting apples. Others experience rigidity of their knees or a slight warmness of their feet. It begins out slowly, but as the acid builds up, ache turns into extra frequent. The sugar comes subsequent. Even though inexperienced apples do not taste as sweet as red apples, they although contain herbal sugars. Older adults with weaker metabolisms revel in blood sugar swings as a result of that sugar. Calves which might be exhausted, middle of the night leg cramps, stiffness, within the morning, or weakness, whilst mountaineering stairs are all possible. The most tough part is that inexperienced apples are often eaten raw as a snack, or even right earlier than bed, which has a continuous effect at the body. Inexperienced apples may be gently making on foot greater difficult, stiffening joints, and making evenings greater stressed for getting older bodies, no matter their seemingly wholesome and natural appearance. What approximately a wealthy tropical fruit that is, exceedingly candy. If something as easy as an apple can do this, what about the most famous fruit? Let's speak approximately the mango, the real sugar bomb mango, gentle, juicy, and almost candy-like. This fruit is loved by almost everybody, specifically within the summer season. However, here's the fact: for aged humans who have leg ache and joint weakness, mangoes can be the maximum risky fruit. Why? Because it has plenty of herbal sugar in it. Now, not a bit. However, a big sugar rush that increases your blood sugar degrees rapidly and dramatically. If you're beneath 30 and lively, your frame can typically tolerate that boom, but your metabolism modifications after the age of 60, insulin spikes after which crashes due to that sugar surge, your body creates irritation deep within your joints. Whenever this happens, mainly within the gentle tissues, round your knees, hips and ankles, you can get burning to your toes, tingling, that doesn't go away. Nighttime swelling around your FSC or creeping heaviness in your legs when you have nerve troubles. Mango does not appear like an enormous meal, tastes mild and feels fresh, so it's easy to devour more of it, which exacerbates the state of affairs. The trick is that to your frame, the feeling of lightness is incomprehensible. Its response is brought about by the sugar, which over the years may result in unstable legs, joint ache, and sluggish strolling. Mangoes are taken into consideration, a herbal delight with the aid of many elders. It's natural, but that doesn't mean it's healthful for elderly joints and bad movement. You have visible the whole image. Now, even whilst 7 end result are praised for their health blessings, there are drawbacks for those over 60. The good news is here, the converse is true. For some, culmination, They combat inflammation, lessen joint pain and encourage strong, robust legs. Allows communicate about the one's healing options, and what seniors must devour of their place. Permit speak approximately what you can eat now, which you know which culmination to keep away from. Due to the fact consuming the ideal fruits does extra than just sate your appetite. Your frame is healed by them. Allows start by way of discussing berries, blueberries, raspberries and blackberries, among others. These little culmination have robust anti-inflammatory houses. They are low in sugar, rich in antioxidants, and sort to blood sugar levels. Most importantly, they boom flow in particular in the legs. They reduce swelling, combat stiffness, and encourage more movement. Cherries, subsequent but sparingly, by way of decreasing uric acid. Cherries can reduce the risk of flare of gout and joint pain. They reduce burning sensations inside the knees and toes. In addition to aching joints, you can get quite a few remedy from handiest. A handful of cherries, next is avocado. Indeed, it is a fruit, and a few of the best for retaining healthful joints. Why? Because it has plenty of healthy fats that cushion your joints and decrease internal inflammation. It also aids insulin regulation, ensuing in regular strength without blood sugar swings. Are you looking for something that is straightforward to devour? Supply papaya. A strive enzymes included in this tender tropical fruit assist with digestion and irritation. Discount it is straightforward on the belly and sort to elderly joints. Consider pears too. Consume them with a small amount of protein or fiber. They upload a touch of sweetness without being overly candy. They come up with electricity without putting too much stress in your legs as opposed to harming your body. Every of those end result enables it. They do not make you swell or experience uncomfortable. They provide your body the power, equilibrium, and calm. It wishes it is now not best about consuming fruit. Don't forget it all comes right down to choosing the proper ones on your age. End result which are currently excellent to your frame. And while you make those deliberate selections you'll notice the distinction clearer, morning smoother motions, and less assailable steps, allows wrap up with a few parting recommendation, and a message only for you. In case you've read this some distance, I can let you know, we're concerned about your fitness energy, and destiny. And I need you to certainly listen. This you continue to have time to alternate. You've got time to get higher, and you're now not the most effective one. Growing older is hard. The gradual improvement of pain, stiffness, and a worry of falling can occasionally give you the affect that your frame is vanishing. However, right here's the reality. Instead of taking drastic measures, you could take rate, by means of making practical small adjustments, one choice, one meal, and one fruit at a time. Although the fruits we pointed out today are not constantly terrible for you, they may not be the exceptional for you right now, and it is with consciousness and select ingredients that sell joints electricity and circulation, lighter steps, smoother mornings, improved flexibility, and less pain. That is what we need. Not fear or limitations. I want to pay attention from you now. Inside the remarks field, let us recognize what you discovered today and what alternate you're willing to make. Let's help one another. Due to the fact sharing makes us all higher. If this video helped, or even marginally opened your eyes, please click the like button to make certain you do not omit any records that would enhance your fitness. Subscribe earlier than you leave. Switch on your notifications. If you found this video helpful, please type 1, type 0 in any other case. You don't recognize how vital your comment is. Remain resilient and watchful. Recollect that your independence is carried